In this video, we'll be doing the R formula, and this is one of the topics that students say is really difficult, but I think they're just scaring themselves because it's actually, I'm going to try to explain it really simply, alright? Right, and also going to tell you the purpose of what this thing is. If not, you'll feel like it's really random, okay? So A cosine of theta plus B sine of theta. Okay, this is an expression that you see very commonly, okay, or it seems very simple, right? It's just one constant, one trigonometric thingy, then one constant, one trigonometric thing. And so you think this is pretty much the simplest form you can go, right? But no, you can't. You can actually go via even simpler form in this manner, alright? Which is theta minus alpha. So the purpose of the R formula is as such. We want to make something that's in this form into this form. Okay, and one of the examples is why we want to do that is, for example, in simple harmonic motion, which is like pendulum swinging. And then you will find equation for its motion, and most of the time after solving the differential equation, which describes its motion, you will get something like that, alright, in this form, and then you're going to try to make it go into this form so that you can explain some things like what happens if you first display it at a certain angle and stuff. So this is what scientists like to do, physicists. You probably learned that in JC or university, so it's not so important now. Just know how to do the conversion in this expression to this expression. Alright. And how I'm going to explain it is I'm going to try to derive it really quickly, and so that you understand how it goes. Alright, so as you can see, as A and B changes, I mean, if you use different values of A and B, your R and your alpha must change, right? In order to make both of the equation true. So as your A and B changes, your R and your alpha will change. Okay, theta is just the same thing that appears here and here. Okay, so it's usually like the variable kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to start to derive it. For this, for the right hand side, okay, I can actually remember what's that called? Yes, sum of angles. Yeah, so I can change this to cos theta cos alpha plus sine theta sine alpha. Okay, and then because this is like the identity kind of thing, right? I'm going to continue here, and I can write it as r cosine alpha times cosine theta plus r sine alpha and sine theta, right? And then you realize that this A can be represented like that, B is here, right? Because r sine alpha, they're constants. R and alpha are constants, so just you can make them equals to B. I mean, if the left hand side same as the right hand side, you can see a similarity, right? The A becomes r cosine alpha, B is r sine alpha. And the thing is, you want to find what r and alpha is, right? So let's just write out the equation where r cosine alpha is equals to A and r sine alpha is equals to B. So let this be equation 1, equation 2. To find what, alpha is, you just need to take equation 2 divided by equation 1. So what happens is you get r sine alpha divided, because on the left hand side, right, r cosine alpha equals to B over A. So if I can cancel this, you'll see that tangent, because sine over cosine is tangent, alpha equals to B over A. So we can find alpha, which is this thing, okay? We can find alpha is equals to tangent inverse of B over A. And we use the calculator answer, okay, to make it simple. So this is the equation for alpha, alright? And similarly, if I want to find what, I shouldn't be erasing this. Okay, I should erase the bottom part. Okay, if I want to find what R is, I just square both equations. So for example, in this case, I'm going to square this into r square cosine square a square. so I square the left hand side. Okay, so and I square the right hand side, so they're still the same. All right, and then I'm just going to add a square and b square together. So you can see that a square plus b square is equals to well, this plus this. This is r square cos square alpha plus r square sine square alpha, and you realize that r square cos and you can simplify it to something like that, right? And if you can remember that this is equals to 1, so you just get r square, because cos square x plus sine square x is 1. So you can see that r square is equals to a square plus b square, and that of course r is equals to root of a square plus b square. We take the positive one. Okay, so a summary would be as such. If I'm going to let a cosine theta plus b sine theta equals to r cosine of theta minus alpha, we just need to let r be equals to root of a square plus b square, and alpha equals to tangent inverse of b over a. Now realize the b is the constant in the sine side, alright, and a is the constant in the cosine side. That's if you express equations in r cosine theta minus alpha. Okay, so in summary, okay, if I'm going to summarize everything, we can say that something like a cosine theta plus b sine theta is equals to r, which is the root of a square plus b square, times cosine of theta minus alpha. Okay, where alpha in this case is just tangent inverse of b over a. Okay, and there as we go on, we can kind of derive other things like a cosine b o cosine theta minus b sine theta. Okay, with a minus sign here and b is a positive or whatever integer this is, you get something like this. All right, cosine of theta plus alpha, where of course alpha again is tangent inverse of b over a, but this time we have plus here. Okay, and in fact we can do it with the other way around, where it's a sine of theta minus b cosine of theta, which will give me again the same thing, a square plus b square, but now we have a sine theta minus alpha. So and lastly, a sine theta plus b cosine theta equals to a square plus b square of sine theta plus alpha. So see, there are many ways to express something in this form. Okay, and to change it into something in the sine form or cosine form. Okay, and this is really important because I'm sure that lots of questions will ask you this. So go and memorize how this works. Okay, one good way to memorize is like for the sine method, the plus minus here is the same as a plus minus here, right? So plus becomes plus, minus becomes minus, and but the thing is, the a and the b are kind of like inverted. All right, so because the a is the coefficient on the sine side and b is the coefficient on the cosine side. Okay, well it's kind of like the opposite for the cosine one. Okay, so go and find your own method to memorize it. Okay, it's really good if you can understand this.